Nintendo Power was the actual bi-monthly successor to the Nintendo Fun Club newsletter.
Yeah.
But then in summer 1988, you had the magazine, Nintendo Power. And oh boy, was this the greatest magazine in the history of magazines.
Some people will say, oh yeah, well, you know, it was just propaganda. It was just a way to sell more games. Yes, but it was a really good way to sell more games. It actually gave value to the people who were playing video games at the time, to the kids.
Nintendo Power was an interesting magazine. Great coverage of Nintendo titles. I felt their Sega coverage was a little lacking.
It was a Nintendo-run magazine, and each issue had a number of reviews, previews called pack watches in the back.
Tips and tricks, mail from fans.
Very popular games at the time got fairly detailed walkthroughs in the center spreads of an issue of Nintendo Power. So this was how a lot of us who were stuck on a game for a month finally got through it.
That was one of my favorite things, flipping through and seeing an entire level from Mega Man or Super Mario just mapped out on pages.
We would have these huge maps that you couldn't see when you were playing the game by yourself. You just see this little view of one screen. But on the games, as they're getting more complicated, suddenly we'd have 20, 30 screens wide and some down, etc. And what we would do is take pictures of them and then tape them all together and then take a big picture of that and put it in the magazine. So for once, you could finally see the whole thing, and it was so cool. I just loved it.
And there's good old Howard Phillips. Damn Howard Phillips helped run the magazine, and he of course appeared in the Howard and Nestor comics that would adorn every issue until he tragically left the magazine around 91.
Howard and Nestor was just a natural way to say, well, what if you were standing there, Howard, and there was some kid saying, no, I can play this, and you'd say, well, you might want to try this, or you might consider that because it might help you along. And also it afforded us the ability to give tips in the way that really is the most fun, which is you don't actually tell somebody the answer, you give them a little hint and lead them in the right direction.
Not only will we know what's coming up and what's good, we'll be better at these games.
It increased the joy we got out of these video games to read about them in Nintendo Power, to know more about them, and to experience them to their full potential.